Just to kind of let you know, I spend about 50% of my time with PLC and HMI software. I spend about 50% of my time with process controls and IT issues, and I spend the rest of 50% of my time with OSI Pi. The thing about it is in our organization, we have Pi administrators across the globe at every site, but being a Pi administrator is on top of the other duties that you have. While our system's not exceptionally large, it is of significant size. I've always considered Tate & Lyle as data rich, but information poor. A lot of times I find ourselves drowning in data, but having no correlation in how that data is related to each other. So I tried to find out how can we get more value for the data that we're currently collecting? How can we simplify finding that data? And how can we move from being data consumer to information innovators? In this day and age, it's not good enough just to collect a lot of data. What it needs is relevance, and it needs information to deliver to critical stakeholders in order to make decisions that affect your business from moment to moment and day to day. We'll also be able to look at downtime hours. Previously, the downtime hours were put into place by the shift supervisor saying, hey, I had an hour and a half downtime, or I had 45 minutes, or whatever. Now, I don't know about your facilities, but our shift supervisors are pretty busy. And I'm assuming that their downtime analysis was their best guess at what the downtime actually was. And who wants to put down 3 hours of downtime when maybe you could fudge a little bit and put 2.5, right? So we had a more accurate way of calculating the downtime. The chart at the top actually shows the versus time on those hold times versus time. And you can see a significant jump between the first shift, which we only run 2 shifts, from the day shift to the night shift. Now, I'm not sure exactly what happened there. And I'm not their supervisor, so I'm not going to worry about what happened there. I'm just going to show people and say, something happened there. We should go look at that. We now have a visual way of actually seeing what's happening inside that process. And here's the one thing, if I'm going to take it away, I've told people time and time again that we love notifications for at our plant because critical data should find the stakeholders, not the other way around. So within 2 weeks of presenting the data to operations, so we spent 1 week generating the server, we spent 1 week generating data, presented it, and within 2 weeks, production increased by 7%. By refocusing on what Pi showed us we should be looking at, we didn't waste our time in the other areas. We surpassed a 5% goal increase. We were able to calculate additional energy needed for the production increase, and we're able to verify that there were no constraints, because that was one of the big items we were concerned about, is would we overproduce the downstream production capacity. I will tell you a little funny story on this, is I did go share this information with a critical stakeholder, and that stakeholder looked me in the eye and said, there's no way we're that bad. There's no way we're that bad. And I said, okay, I'll agree with you, maybe we're not quite that bad, but if we were half that bad, would that be worth it to you? So about a month later, I was looking at another, I met one of our other vendors who's an advanced control person. They were looking at a different plant. They were looking at the exact same process in a different plant. Guess what they found? They found our equipment was waiting in hold on the downstream equipment. So we found it first. We found it using tools that were readily available. We didn't have to go to another outside vendor that we weren't already using with another piece of software that we didn't already have. The data was there in Pi waiting for us to find it. Conclusions: time from start to finish, including software installation for the initial project and the data collection, was 2 weeks. Critical data is delivered to stakeholders instead of stakeholders having to search for the data. New tools highlighted an unanticipated opportunity. Overall production levels have been elevated. Here's my contact information. Thank you very much.